So today we'll be going through the Signature Vape app. Now, since we spent a lot of time building this, we've kind of built the version 1 and version 2 together. So basically we were planning to build something for pods and disposables first and then kind of lead towards e-liquids. But we've built a version in which you can kind of work with all of them at once, and at the same time we also built a option here where the instead of selecting a primary flavor or a primary profile, you can mark down each and every flavor against a very specific set of flavors. For example, a strawberry lemonade can be directly linked with a very specific line, and you can change that all the time. So at the same time, we also built it in such a way that every type of variant can be dealt with. So let's say if you're missing a coil and you need an option that's a replacement of that coil, that option also will exist in here provided we add the data. And other than that, this application is also made for the web. So in case you want to enable it for all the stores online version, it can also be accessed by the user. So right now I'm using a huge screen, so some pixels might be a little off, but the functionality has been added in the backend. We use the base data of Wellington store, and we've tinkered around a little bit with some of the information we had. So I'm gonna just start up the store. So basically, this is where the application exists, and you can easily select whichever store you need to go to. This is our test store, so I'm gonna start with this one. I'm gonna put in the email and password. So this is store specific. Since that's the only admin I have here, I'm gonna be adding information here. So as soon as you load up this information, it's going to show you the 3 links that we talked about. Now these links are directly connected with all the products that we are tagging based on whatever tag we assign. As something discussed by Bal, that he wanted information here. So this will directly pull information from the website itself. So we've added that direct functionality so we don't have to double tap that information. And you can also see more pieces of information here if you add more sets of products. So we have an option in which we can slide it on the right and left. Now another thing that we had here was the product finder. So with the product finder, we'll be primarily looking at the function of scanning an item and then finding whatever suitable information or availability of that product is directly. So this actually works with a barcode, so you can actually scan the item and it will prop up here. For now I'm just gonna copy up the information from here. All right. Sorry, internet's running a little wonky. Yeah, second. So let's say I'm pulling up Geek Bar Pulse and I'm gonna get this piece of information. Now I can scan this particular product and search it, and it will auto populate and show me if that product is particularly available. And this also links up to the next step, which will be product recommendation. We do have the option in place here for finding up the product also. We still have to link that up, but yeah, it is functional. So we'll be linking that piece of information as well. So you don't need to find the product just by entering the code. You can also search for the product directly. And since we're kind of thinking of the idea that it's going to work with an iPad, we kind of made the aspect ratio similar to that. So you can find the availability or the non-availability of that product here. So as you can see, the sold out in stock options are all visible here. So the last tool before I start it up, I'm going to show you the logic behind it, because that's something that every store can also edit. Now this is built for one store. This data can also be transferred to the other stores based on whatever their requirement availability is. Now if I go to the back end, this is where all the data is warehoused. Now we can assign each and every product their type, their count, their pricing, their brand. And whatever we assign to each and every product, that's exactly what's going to show up. And the biggest thing that we're talking about here would be flavors. But at the same time, we also added the option for adding colors, picking up the size, recommending a separate scent, using a different resistance. This is a very flexible option. So if you can think of 10, 20 more, we can add as many as possible. So when you're talking about flavor, instead of connecting a flavor profile, we directly gave the option of connecting as many as you wish to. So with peach, watermelon, ice, you can search up and add as many as possible. And if all the factors match up, it's going to give you the exact piece of information that's needed. So you have the flexibility to add 400 if you wish to, but try and keep it like 4-5 so it makes sense for everybody. So all the profiles will be matched up here. These are 997, but yeah, because of the upcoming excise, a lot of products are being discontinued and a lot of new products are being brought in. So we'll be changing this piece of information, but yeah, the working module is still there. So going back to this, let's say I'm looking at puff count. So something that Katie wanted, we do have the skip option now. So you can skip these options too. But I'm going to just demonstrate with the option of if you're picking an item. So let's say I'm picking something like this, and then I'm selecting this option, and then I'm moving towards craze. I believe we put something here. Yeah. So let's say I'm picking up this item. I see the product, and now I can see whatever products lie under this. I see a lot of sold out options. I see a lot of other options. I can click on sold out, and then it can pop me up and give me a lot of other options which are available. Obviously the flavors will be off right now because this is just a test platform, but we can match up exactly how it's needed. And at the same time, we also have the module in which you can search for a particular product and it will give you the exact type that matches up with the flavor. We can skip steps. We can also go backtrack it. And as you can see, there is no speed issues. So this is something that we can run independently too. So there isn't like as such any issues with running this while you're running your point of sales and website. So yeah, the back module is ready, and we also had the option in which we can give you recommendations about the product in case you want to bring in from the same flavor profile or you want to bring in from the same brand. So let's see if I can find that. Yeah, so if it's in stock, we also have the option in which we can move towards the recommendations or we can move towards the other flavors. So in other flavors, we can just go inside the same brand. But then if you wish to kind of explore this again, you can go in and check in which sold out, then you can go explore what other things it has. So both ways works. and all the backend operations are ready. We'll be visiting next week, starting with Wellington. I will inform the person in charge that I'll be coming in, and we'll be testing a few things with them. I will be giving access over the weekend to everybody who's watching this video, and they can play around with the tool. Right now it's just a singular login, but yeah, you can just test it out, try and break the system, think of some other things that you can do with the system, and if you have any other recommendations, we can still work around with it. So yeah, like, we are aiming to get it live next month, earlier next month. We'll start with Wellington, and as soon as Wellington kind of signs off on most of the things, we're gonna transport the module to all the stores, and I'll be there personally to check in with each store, make sure that it works. We'll make it run for at least 1 month before we put up and start working towards the next modules. So just to give a basic idea, the next module we'll be working with, we can either work with a kiosk, or we can make it voice activated. Like, as long as you don't have an heavy accent like me, I think you should be able to even work it with just your voice. And that voice could be either one of the customers, or it could be just a store manager. So that's something we've been working on from quite some time. We found a way to use voice properly here. So yeah, that's something that nobody else would have. So yeah, let me know what your review is. Thank you.